She's very excited.
We'll get closer now because this is Mpenzi.
So this is Mpenzi, and that was her saying hello. She just loves people. So Mpenzi here is an African pygmy falcon. So the name Falcon, she eats, what do we think? Think she's eating birdseed? No, not so much. What do we think she's eating?
Insects.
Insects, bugs, maybe little mice, any sort of meat. She's a carnivore. So she is a big, ferocious hunter if you're about the size of a cricket. If you're bigger than that, she might have a little trouble, but she thinks that she can get things that are much bigger than her. So Mpenzi here is about 4 years old, so she is full grown. This is as big as she's ever going to get. So we like to say she's got a lot of personality in that little body. So you can see as she's out here, she's checking things out, looking around at everybody. And she's a really great example of bird body language. There we go, she does it right now. So birds tell us a lot about how they're feeling by their body language, by what their feathers look like, by how their body is, how they're standing, maybe by the sounds they make, maybe by what she's doing with their head. So did you guys see how she fluffed up? That was her way of saying, I'm happy, I'm comfortable, you guys are cool. She's also bobbing her head around, she's looking all over, she's flicking her tail up and down. Those are all different social cues that let us know that she's comfortable, she's happy, she's just curious, checking things out. So pygmy falcons live in Africa, and they live in kind of the scrub brush areas of Africa, and they are one of the only social birds of prey. So that means that she will generally live with some other pygmy falcons, and they will live in an area with other birds as well. So they are something called a nest pirate. So what do we know about pirates? What do pirates do? They steal. So she is going to steal nests from other birds. So pygmy falcons don't actually build their own nest. Instead, they find a bird called the weaver bird that builds these giant nest structures that are almost like an apartment complex. They will have 20, 30, up to I've heard 100 little individual compartments in these big nests. Well, the pygmy falcon comes along and says, I want one of those. And they kick the birds that are in there out, and they move in, and they lay their eggs. They raise their babies, they act as pest control, they have that great alarm system, you guys heard that call, and they are going to keep the weaver birds safe. So the weaver birds just kind of let them stay, let them do their thing. So you might find a few pygmy falcons living in one of those big nest areas with several weaver birds as well. So because of that, they are very chatty, they're very talkative, much more talkative than other birds of prey. Usually birds of prey, you'll hear them call occasionally, but they're not going to make all these little chirps and peeps and calls. So Mpenzi is very, very social. Now, unfortunately, she hatched at another facility, and she imprinted on people, so she thinks she's a tiny human. She doesn't really realize that she's a little bird. So when they have tried to introduce her to other pygmy falcons when she was much younger, she was really kind of unsure of those social cues. Now that she's older, who knows, but she has definitely picked us, specifically Jane, as her favorites. So we are her group, we are kind of her social grouping, and she will chat with us, she will talk to us, she gets very excited when we see her in the morning, she'll have a whole conversation. So yeah, she's a lot of fun to work with. You can see she's hanging out right now. Now she's showing off one of her, maybe a little unsure.